Bakiran kanina. Labas si Bakiran. Bilyones.
Present.
Noted. Bulao.
Sir, present sir.
Noted. Danganon.
Present, sir.
Noted po. Duran. Maverick. Felicilda. Jennifer.
Present, sir.
Okay, si Miss Felicilda yung bago ninyong kaklase. Hindi ka pa pala nag-programming sa UM? Am I right? UM, no? Miss
Yes,
Felicilda?
sir. Naka-programming na, sir. Tapos na.
Ay, okay. What happened?
Yung sinabi sa akin na i-take ko lang pa rin ito. Parang wala siya na credit.
Anong programming language na ginamit niyo before?
Visual Basic, Java, may C-Sharp.
C++.
C++.
Ayun. Sige, check ko yung grades mo ha para din paki-update ako by Monday. 5 p.m.
Mag-chat?
para i-credit natin yung subject.
Okay. Sige, sir. Sige. Thank you, sir.
Kung ka ng microphone, nagtanggal natin.
Okay, subject for credit tayo, Miss Felicilda, kasi sayang naman din.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Parang same lang din siya sa ikuan, may isang transferee. Enroll mo yung subject, tapos yung grades mo from your grades.
Okay.
Kukunin natin.
Excuse me, sir.
Sige,
Na-late
sir.
ko, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes po, Mr. Lazan.
Sir, na-late ko, sir.
Okay, it's okay. Bago lang tayo nag-start. Okay.
Sir.
Formentera. Galindo. Ay, okay, from previous pati na ako another record. Lazan. Ayun, Lazan.
Sir.
Moises.
Present, sir.
Noted. Olarte.
Sir, present.
Pitin. From previous pa ito na record. Polio.
Present, sir.
Noted. Rebaha.
Present, sir.
Noted. Cruz.
Present, sir.
Edu.
Present, sir.
Noted po. Maspinias. Joseph. Nag-rumble pala yung record. Maspinias. Joseph. Wala si Joseph? Parang hindi man lang. Wala si Joseph.
Wala ko rin sa kabalong na zoom po, sir.
Hala. Asan dining nga po si Joseph?
Updated, well, that picture me.
Oo. Pero lagi yung president tapos wala si Joseph. Founder, wala na ito. Anrami. Sumaya.
Present, sir.
Noted. Marces.
Present, sir.
Noted po. Rojales. Minsan wala na mention during the attendance checking, guys. Just for the record. Wala na ba? I suppose everyone's being mentioned during the attendance checking. Save ko lang. Okay. Well, anyways, short description. So, medyo bago yung ating so refresh na lang muna tayo. For Miss Felicilda, join ka na lang muna, Miss Felicilda. Okay?
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Again, bago yung ating subject, is my screen visible now?
Hindi pa sir.
Ay, dili pa? Wait lang.
Mo lang kuan. M na nakabutang.
Okay. Eto.
Ara sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, again, I would just like to remind everyone, the subject title is CC101. Subject code pala is CC102. Previously, our subject is CC101, yung Introduction to Computing. But today, this time, since this is our second term na, so prelim grading period na tayo, bago na yung subject. Again, CC102 na yung ating subject code. Subject title is Fundamentals of Programming. So, dito, we're going to have the basic, yun nga, fundamentals nga yung ating tatalakayin sa buong second term po. Okay? From programming, so, again, obviously, this has something to do with one of the programming language. Yung isa sa mga na-mention ni Ms. Felicilda kanina, we'll be having C or kung makaya natin ng C++ during our finals, mas maganda. Okay? Now, course description, guys. This course is an introduction to fundamentals of computer programming concepts. the course intends to familiarize. So for you to be able to familiarize the dynamics of analyzing. So we are expecting that at the end of this subject, you know already how to analyze and solve certain machine problems or computer programming problems. Again, this course puts emphasis in training the students to design. So we will be designing algorithm like flowcharts and implement those algorithms. Then we'll be having test and debug of our program. Testing and debugging has something to do with the way we run and or compile our program in order for us to solve computing problems using fundamentals programming concepts. So in short, fundamentals, ito yung mga basic pa talaga. Kung kuan pa sa leveling, nasa 1 pa tayo, computer programming 1. Now, upon successful completion of this course, the student will have reliably demonstrate the ability to first design a computing solution that demonstrates an understanding of fundamentals of programming concepts to solve again specific machine problems. So, machine problems or computer computer programming problem. Second, second from our course outcomes, guys, is to develop an entry-level program, kung entry-level program, basic, or yun nga, fundamentals, that implement appropriate project specification and requirements. So, dito na subject will be having the basic of computer programming, which has something to do with the variables. We need to familiarize those variables that we need to know or we need to use inside our program. So aside from variables, data types also will be discussed. So ito yung mga naka-line up. So learning outcomes is again to design, implement, test, and debug as always for our program based on a given specifications. So that uses each of the following fundamentals of programming concept or component. First, the primitive data type. Second, basic computation. So sa basic computation, guys, yung sa, diba, sa mathematics. So addition, so basic arithmetic operation is addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and so on. Third, simple input and output. I stands for input, O for output, guys. Conditional and iterative structure. Dito po sa simple input and output, we'll be asking the user to input a data or information or a number, and those input from the user will be processed po. Okay, and we'll be defining those inputs kung ano ba yung specific input ni user. Kasi mayroon yan specific. Iba yung number, iba yung data type natin. Yun nga, sa data type. Fourth, we'll be having conditional and iterative structure. Sa conditional po, from the word itself, conditional, something to do with if mag-ulan karon, possible magbaha. Mag-ulan karon, possible dili ko maglaag. So, ano siya. Now, number 5, definition of functions and parameter passing. So, we'll be having function. So, inside our program, so functions, guys. So, there will be two types of functions, either so-called programmer-defined functions and system-defined functions. So, kung yung system-defined functions, these are functions that are built-in. Programmer-defined function, guys, are from the word itself, programmer. So, it is being constructed by the programmer. So, sino ba yung programmer? Tayo po as a koan. So, mga estudyante na nag-take programming. So, tayo po ang considered as programmer. And number 6, recursion. So, sa recursions, we'll be having looping statements like for and while, and also do while for C++ na programming. So, yun ang ating possible topic. So, again, na-mention na ko ang atong subject code, subject title, learning outcomes, and our topic or learning course outcomes pala. So, ganun siya. Just an overview, may mga naka-smartphone ba dito or lahat naka-desktop computers or laptop?
Smartphone, sir. Smartphone.
sige lang, don't you worry guys kasi we'll be having online compilers. So, yun sa mga naka-smartphone, pwede po kayo magamit ng online compiler tayo, programmings.com. And sa mga naka-desktop po, desktop computers or laptop, I really recommend to install applications or compiler that is suitable for our subject, which is Dev C++. Are you familiar? Dev C++ po.
Ano nino? Ikaw eh, Ben? Dabo River. Dabo River ako?
So, i-search lang ninyo sa
Tingnan na, bitaw
Google,
tagal niya.
guys. Hindi ko alam. Search lang ninyo sa Google. Again, you're going to search Dev C++. Ito po yung compiler na gagamitin natin. Used to compile C programs. So, si Java is separate din po. For Java, ang ginagamit na compiler is si Kuan, si Eclipse o si
Eclipse na.
ano sa daw? Eclipse,
Yun lang
no?
ang gigamit. Ay, Eclipse ang ginagamit namin, sir.
Yun, Eclipse o katong ang ginagamit nila is katong isa. Aside from Visual Studio. Actually, sa Visual Studio, guys, both you can use, but most are common sa Java nga ginagamit is si Eclipse o si NetBeans. NetBeans pala yun. Okay? Yung sa inyo, Miss Pilsilda, Eclipse.
Eclipse, sir.
For C++, nag-Dev C kayo?
Wala.
Sa atin po sa subject, we'll be using Dev C. So, you're going to use the search engine Google. So, search nyo lang Dev C++. So, meron yan siya sa nakaspecify. But in general tayo, Dev C++. Then, ito po, sa search Verge, or eto, sa Bloodshed. Bloodshed talaga yung developer ng Dev C. Eto siya. So, this is the compiler. So, offline compiler ito. But, yung sa iba, pwede naman tayo ng programmings. Online compiler ito. Kanina, yung na-mention ko na DevC is offline. Offline ito na IDE or compiler used to compile C or C++ program. Sa online naman po, as long as we are connected to the internet, and then, kahit naka-smartphone po kayo, pwede po kayo magamit ng programmings.com. Ito po yung link. programmings.com. Then, you're going to select, marami itong programs dito. You're going to select C programming lang po. Actually, may mga tutorial pa ito. Pag ganito po yung lalabas, close nyo lang po ito, close. Then, meron siya mga tutorial dito sa mga gusto mag-advanced study. So, you can have this one. So, click nyo lang yan. So, marami na yung mga tutorials sa But sa atin, we'll be using clicking this one. So click this button, online compiler, para it will redirect to the online compiler po. But the difference is that may mga functionalities na hindi pwede dito sa online compiler. Like, pero as of now, hindi pa natin i-mention. So, yung basic na lang muna para hindi tayo ma-confuse. Okay, nakuha na ba? Naka-follow ba lahat?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Sir.
So,
Yes, sir.
yun nga, sa mga naka-desktop guys, hopefully by next meeting, so that will be on Monday next week. So, Monday next week, I am expecting everyone, yung mga naka-desktop, meron na kayong compiler. So, challenge yourself, everyone. Medyo madali lang naman ang installation process ng Koan, ng DevC compared kay Bloodshed, ay kay Koan, kay NetBeans, ay saka kay Eclipse. So, medyo fun doon si NetBeans. Pero kay DevC, madali lang siya. Para lang kayo nag-install ng Microsoft Word or Microsoft Office. So, ganun. Okay na? Can we now start to our first lesson? Ay, asa ka pala, for reference guys, pala, if you want to have advanced study, you can visit W3 Schools. Are you familiar with this site?
Yes, sir.
W3schools.com. So, dito ang daming mga programming na mga languages that you can have. Pwede niyo po dito kuan. Sandali, ayun, hindi pala na-share. Hindi pala ako na-share. Ayun. Okay, this is the site. Ito ba yun? Dali. Okay. Nasa ibang, ano to? Ayun. Hindi. Dali ha, kasi ang dami ng applications na naka-open. Ay, hindi ito. Sorry guys. Na-confuse na ako sa maraming applications na naka-open. Sandali. Dami talaga ng application. Hindi pero na-open. Sandali. Ay. Kaya pala. Ayun. Ayun. Okay. Ito po yung site, W3 Schools. Ayun, ang dami nga, we have HTML and CSS, guys. Baka magtaka kayo. Ito po, hindi po ito programming language si HTML, CSS. Okay?
Wag pala ginako.
Ito po yung programming, as you can observe. So, nakaseparate siya. We have Python, Java, C++, C#, R, Kotlin, and Go. But as of the moment, wala silang C. C++ is actually the revised version of C. Dito. Tapos, wala tayong C++ C pala dito. So, dito tayo nakafocus kay programming. Meron siyang mga tutorial. Pero if you want to have advanced study regarding C++, you can have medyo similar lang naman yung syntax. So, isa sa nag-differ kay C++ is that mag-display sa screen. Sa C kasi we will be having printf. Kay C++, C out, C in. C out for displaying sa screen. Pag mag-scan po tayo ng input from the user kay C, we'll be having scanf. Kay C++, C in po yun. Okay? Overview pa lang yun. Don't get confused. Just an overview. Kakukuan baka yung iba na confused na, sir, ano yung mention mo? Hindi ko yun alam. We'll be discussing step by step. Again, we understand that programming is a tough subject, little siya, but then again, paano na to? Step by step process lang nato sa atong discussion para dili pud mo ma-kuan. Sandali. Okay, sandali. Trying to have the proper discussion. Are we now ready? Ready na ba lahat?
Sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, I know everyone is excited. May naka-programming na ba dito? Aside from Miss Felicilda, kasi si Miss Felicilda is a transferee from BSIT pa din. Aside from Miss Felicilda, sino pa yung nakagamit na ng programming languages or language? Meron ba? Their senior high schools na kuan, sa inyong senior high school na program. Meron ba naka-programming na? Or wala? Guys, I apologize pala hindi ako naka-turn on ng camera kasi medyo makalat dito sa bahay. So as of the moment, bawi na lang ako next Monday. Sorry. Ganun siya. Kanina start? Wala na lang ginagasto ba? Meron ba
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Si Mr. Villones, naka-programming ka na before, Mr. Villones? Okay. Sige. Again, for tonight, we'll be having the introduction of C programming. So, again, ang pinaka-kwan talaga, ang pinaka-question talaga learning programming is, sino yung pinaka-unang programmer? Anyone from the class? Meron na ba nakaalam? Na-discuss na natin. Yun nga, di ba na-discuss na natin during your CC 101 that the first programmer is a lady or
Ada.
yun. Kaya nga, babae siya. So, si Ada Agosta Lovelace. So, siya ang pinakaunang programmer, guys. So, pinaka-assignment ninyo is kinsang developer sa C++. Or like kasi medyo iba yung developer ng C++. So, sino yung developer or nag-develop or nag-invent kay C? That is your assignment, ha? Ask ko yan. Tatanungin, follow up ko kayo by next week. Okay, to start with, our objectives for tonight. So, medyo marami, guys. But then again, kung makaya lang natin hanggang dito lang tayo kay maybe dito sa first. Pero kung makaya natin discuss yung iba, much better. Makaya pa sa time. So, we have, meron pa naman tayong time. Sandali, check ko lang. 7:36 pa naman. Again, one of the objectives for tonight is to be able to write simple computer programs in C. Check ko lang ha, baka iba yung... Check ko lang. Tama. Paano ko baka mag-reflect yung name ng school. Common kasi itong ginagamit ko na document. So, most of the schools, actually I am teaching from the other schools also. One of, tatlong school po yung tinuturuan ko as of the moment. So, one of which is a university. Yung isa is private, aside from Samson po. Okay? Kaya nag-double check ko baka nandito yung name ng school. Bawal din siya. Okay? Now, first of the objective, yun nga, to be able to write simple computer programs in C. So, we'll be having yung pinaka-basic talaga, simple, para at least mas madali nyo lang maintindihan. Second, to use simple input and output statements. So, dito po sa second, we'll be having, or we'll be asking the user to input ng value, and we'll be displaying, or after natin makuha yung input ng user, we'll be displaying the input, or i-prompt natin sa user yung gamit yung input. Third, to become familiar with fundamentals of data types, yun nga, yung na-mention ko kanina, di ba, during the orientation, we will be having those names of data types na pwede nyo magamit na kung ang inyong input is a whole number or floating numbers, katong mga numbers na may mga decimal value, or characters or strings. Now, fourth from the objectives is to understand computer memory concepts. Ito po isa sa pinaka-importante, objective number 4. Dapat alam po natin yung memory concept in terms of when we ask input from the user, anong data type ang container natin. So, in terms of memory concept, we'll be having that one. Also, to use arithmetic operators. So, sa arithmetic operators, guys, the basic operator or operation. So, sum or addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So, we will be having that one. Next, from our objectives is to understand precedence of arithmetic operators. So, I know you're familiar with this since, again, mathematics is more common sa inyo sa first year. Tama ba ako? Aside from your major, kaya isa sa mga requirements na i-take ninyo during your first year days or sa inyong mga kwan is meron kayong mathematics. So, I know you're familiar with precedence. So, yung precedence na tinatawag na PMDAS or parentheses, yung priority or ruling ng ating unsolving the kwan. Simple math. And last is to write simple decision-making statement. Ito po, yung sa decision, simple if-else conditions for this. We need to decide whether if grade is 75 pataas, if you are equal to 75 or up, you need to display pass. If grade naman po is 74 pababa, in short, fail proof. So we'll be having that one. Now, topic outline. Again, we have 5 topic outlines for this introduction to C. First of which is a simple C program, printing a line of text. So mag-print lang tayo ng single line of text sa ating compiler. Second, another C program, adding 2 integers. So we'll be having 2 inputs from the user, and we're going to calculate or perform the simple arithmetic, which is the addition. Third is memory concept regarding the this another C program, simple C program, guys, katong mag-add na siya duha ka integers. Ano yung mangyayari in terms of memory concept? Then, fourth from our outline is to have arithmetic in C. Yun nga, yung mga basic arithmetic, yung addition, subtraction, multiplication, and so on. And ang pinakahuli from this introduction to C is decision making, the equality and relational operators, yung equal, not equal. Sa relational man po, greater than or less than, greater than or equal to, and so on. Ito po, this is the very basic. Actually, most of, pinakauna talaga is Hello World. Yung sa atin lang is Welcome to C. Again, this is a simple program printing a line of text. Anyone from the class, anong mangyayari sa program? Anyone? Paki-unmute na lang po if you want to participate or contribute. Meron ba?
Ano siya, sir?
Yes po, mag-display ng ano.
Welcome to C.
Yun, welcome to C with punctuation. Punctuation mark ba ang tawag dito?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Welcome to C punctuation mark. Sir, what happens to backslash and later po we're going to know that one. But ang mag-display lang po dito, tama yung sinabi ni Miss Felicilda, is yung inside the double quote, welcome to C. Okay? Now, isa-isa ho nato siya kuan kanang examine atong code. Now, we're going to go back to line 1 and 2. Ano bang nasa line 1 and 2, sir? For most of the compiler, guys, sa programming, meron talaga yung number dito sa gilid para mas madali niyo makita yung mga programs niyo. Para to easily identify the errors also. Okay? For line 1 and 2, eto siya. So, start with backslash asterisk and end with asterisk backslash. Ano bang ibig sabihin ng this one? So, eto siya. Ibig sabihin, it is a 2 lines of comment. Comment siya ang tawag dyan. And comments, guys, are inserted by the programmers to document programs and improve program readability. Again, comments are ignored by C, C++ compiler. Aside from C, C++, sa Java din, comments, ina-ignore lang na siya. The same lang ang definition ng comment. Ina-insert lang na siya sa programmer para ma-improve iyahang program readability or to document something in your program. Thus, our comment have no effect in our program or in the program. So, wala yun siyang epekto. Kahit pa ang taas ng comment mong nilagay dyan, murag flower lang dyan siya sa imong program. So, always remember, actually, we have 2 ways on how to insert comments, but this is one. Later po, we're going to have the second one. Ito na lang po muna para hindi kayo ma-confuse. Again, backslash asterisk and end with asterisk backslash. Hindi po pwede na mauna si asterisk kaysa kay backslash. Okay, ibang definition po yun. The comments help other people read and understand your program. So most of the time ginagamit natin si com. So again, para sa beginners po, ito po yung sinasabi. Let's proceed with line number 3 and 4. So ano bang nasa line number 3 and 4? So going back to our program, so si line number 3 and 4, eto po. Number include stdio.h. So hindi yan binabasa si arrow left and arrow right. So obvious na kasi pag sinabi mong stdio.h, inside na yan siya kay arrow. Line number 4 is number. So number ang tawag dito. Number include conio.h. Ano bang ibig sabihin kay line number 3 and 4? Line number 3 and 4 is what you call, these are directives to C preprocessor. Ibig sabihin, line beginning with hashtag or number sign are processed by the preprocessor before the program is compiled. Kaya nga sabi, preprocessor. The same goes with pretest. So, pretest, mangyayari siya before the discussion, the proper discussion. The same goes with our program. Ang tinatawag na preprocessor, guys, gina-process siya daan before pa, kahit hindi pa yan nag-compile, i-process na niya daan. Okay? Now, kaya most of the program, mag-error na siya pag hindi siya tinatawag na. Kasi ito siya, tawag nito kay header file. So this line number 3 and 4, guys, are the preprocessor to include the content of stdio.h and conio.h header files in the program. So header files ang tawag nito, kaya nga .h kasi the letter H here stands for header file. Okay? STDIO, kano siya? STD, input and output string. Dito po sa con.io, connection string input and output. Yan po ang ibig sabihin ng con.io. So, si stdio, parent siya or it contains printf, while con.io contains getch. Getch function po ito and printf function. So, kung babalikan natin yung ating program, eto siya. Si line number 8, dependent siya kay line number 7. So, without line number 7, at nagbutang kag line number 8, diha na siya mag-cause of error imong program. Kasi hahanapin ngayon ni line number 8 yung parent nga si line number 3. Okay? The same goes with line number 9. Line number 9 is the mura siyang anak ni line number 4 ni con.io.h. Without line number 4, mag-error po ni siya si line number 9. Pangitaon niya iyang parent. Kasi without this one, it, again, obviously, mag-error na siya yung program. Let's proceed. So, let's proceed with line number 6. Ito po yung pinaka-importante si line number 6. Most of the program talaga, mag-start na siya kay line number 6. Again, line number 6 is a part of every C or C++ program. The same goes with Java. Main din po, main method din po ang nila dito. Pero dito, main function po ang tawag dito. So this parenthesis after the main, which is open and close parenthesis, indicate that main is a building block called a function. Kaya nga sabi ko kanina, eto din po, si printf, function po ito. Kapag makakita pa yun ng open and close parenthesis, function po ang tawag dyan. Follow-up question, sir, si gets po, sir, may open and close parenthesis din po siya. Function din po ba siya? Yes po. Again, every time you're going to see open and close parenthesis, that is a function. Next. Now, C programs contains one or more functions, one of which must be main. So, ang marami pong mga function inside sa ating mga programs, especially sa mga upcoming programs natin. Pero isa sa ating function talaga is what we call main. So, every program in C begins executing at the main function or function main. So, dito talaga siya magsisimula ang execution ng ating program. Sir, bakit yung preprocessor? Doon po ang mangyayari. Ito po, dito po, ang tinatawag na preprocessor. Hindi pa yan na-compile, i-process na niya. Wala pa na mag-run yung program, na-process na siya. Ito po, the time na mag-run kasi yung program, diri na siya mag-start ang execution kay in main or kay main function or function main. Let's proceed with line number 7 and 11. So kung babalikan natin yung program, ito po, after the main. Si line number 7 and line number 11. Ano bang ibig sabihin yan, sir? The left brace must begin the body of every function. So every function, meron ka talagang left brace. This is the open or beginning tag of your body. Okay? And naapon na siya correspond. O kailangan na siya ka-pair nga right brace to end the function. Kasi without the right brace, mag-error na po na siya. Pangitaon, asang ka-pair nimo? So, dili ka pwede mosulod, dili na muran imong program kung walay kapares nga right brace. So, always remember that one. The pair of braces in the portion of the program between the braces is what you call a block. So, in short, eto po, inside, going back to our program, line number 8, 9, and 10 are considered as block. Block na siya dira, aside from statement. So next, line number 8. So let's proceed with line number 8, guys. The line number 8, so it naka-state dira printf. So we have parentheses, then double quote, welcome to C, punctuation mark, backslash, and double quote. And end of parentheses. And don't forget we have semicolon, but baka hindi nyo makita si semicolon, guys. So, line number 8 simply instructs the computer to perform an action namely to print on the screen the string. String po ang tawag dito, kaya nasa inside the double quote siya. String po ito. Okay? A character marked by the quotation mark. So, i-print niya kung ano yung nasa loob ng double quote. That includes this one. But this backslash n has functionality. Later po, we're going to know that one. Now, string, guys, is sometimes
Ma'am, kaon ako, ma.
called
Dili na ako
character
kaon.
string, a message. It could be a message. Dito po sa ginawa natin, it is a message. And it is literal. Now, welcome to C. Ito po yung mag-display sa ating screen, obviously. Now, line number 8, or the entire line containing printf, ito siya, the entire line. Its arguments within the parentheses. Arguments, guys, yung sa loob ng parentheses, we have one argument. So, meron tayong isang argument inside the parentheses of function printf. And the semicolon. Ito po, semicolon. Ito po ang tawag ng buong line number 8 is what you call statement. Yun nga ang na-mention ko kanina, statement po. Pero yung buo talaga, di ba, na-mention kanina na ang loob inside this left and right brace is what you call block. But this line number 8 here, tugod kay printf, open parenthesis or left parenthesis, double quote, welcome to C, punctuation mark, backslash, and end of quote. And yes po, Mr. Olarte.
Masakit ng lines number 6, sir.
Line number 6, this is int main or main function. Dili nag-start ang execution kay int main. Actually, you can change this int or pwede wala ito si int. Later po, we're going to try a demo regarding the program po. Okay? Questions? Baka may mga questions pa kayo. I really encourage everyone to ask questions.
Sir, pakibalik dito sa line 7 na
Line number 7. Sige, ito po. So, ito nga sabi, the pair of braces and the portion of the program between the braces, which is the right or the left brace and the right brace, is what you call block. Yung nasa loob nito. Dito po. So, kung babalikan natin yung program, ito po. So, nasa loob, si line number 8 to 9, ang tawag dito is block. But, ito pong single line ng number 8, this is what you call statement. Statement din po ito si line number 9. Okay? Kung next tayo. Tama ba? Okay. Now, line number 8, every statement must end with a semicolon. Kaya most of the memes na lumalabas sa
Dili na ako
social
kaon.
media is kalimutan nyo na ang lahat, wag lang sa semicolon. Okay? Kasi very important po na dapat lagyan nyo po at the end of your statement, pag statement po yan, kailangan meron niyang semicolon. Kaya ang sabi ko kanina, sir, ito si get, may semicolon siya. Consider ba ito na statement? Yes po. Aside from get is a function, meron siyang semicolon, kaya ang tawag dyan, statement. Yun, may question tayo. Nice. What do you call in line number 5, sir? Line number 5. Wala. Empty po ito si line number 5. You can actually skip this one, but it is used for separation. It separates the header. Ito po yung header files natin and the main function. You can actually remove this white space. White space lang po ito. Wala itong value. Wala itong kuan. You can insert white space para again ma-highlight ninyo or ma-separate ninyo ang katong yung there will be separations from certain program. For example, for this kaning sa line number 2 and 3, you can have separate this one para at least makita, dali lang nyo makita. For this example, nag-insert ko line number 5 para at least makita ninyo ang separations or difference ni 6 and 3 and 4. Yes po. Color-coded ba na, sir? Yes. Kung nakagamit mo kuan, dito lang sa sample na ako is naka-all black siya. Pero kung nasa compiler na po kayo, na siya yung mga specific color. Kaya nga, I really recommend you going to use Dev C++ kasi you can actually customize the colors. Like, for example, this number include, you can have your own color if you want. Pero the default lang muna tayo para uniform tayo ng mga colors. Meron yun siyang green and so on. Okay? Kaya nga, very important. Errors, kaya nga, compiler yung ginagamit natin para at least guided po kayo kung saang error yung inside your program. Asa dito ang error. Okay, let's proceed. Ito po, every statement must end with a semicolon. And ang tawag po ng semicolon is what you call statement terminator. So it terminates your statement. At the end talaga, meron talaga yung semicolon. Hindi pwede colon ang ilagay dyan. Semicolon talaga yung i-honor ni compiler or ni programmer. Let's proceed till nasa line number 8. The character normally print exactly, yun nga na-mention ko kanina, as they appear between the double quotes in the printf statement or printf function. But, so there's a big but guys, or however, the character \n, ito yung na-mention ko kanina, were not printed on the screen kasi \n simply means escape sequence. Sir, ano ba yung escape sequence? Simple lang po ang ibig sabihin yan. New line. Kung later po, we're going to have example. New line, ibig sabihin, ang cursor po dito is mag-proceed siya sa next line. Or, kung ito po si \n, dito yan nakalagay, ibig sabihin si C po, nasa new line po yan. Dito po yan sa baba. Okay, we're going to have a demo later. And it causes the cursor to position to the beginning of the new line on the screen. Kaya nga yung sabi ko kanina. Ito po yung ibig sabihin nandito, yung cursor po is nasa baba. So, pero kung ang new line is nakalagay dito, ibig sabihin yung C punctuation mark nasa baba po. So, welcome to. Thus, so ito po yung ating always na i-remind na itong sarili. Thus, line number 8 and this dalawang printf dito is the same lang po yan. The same lang kasi wala naman siya nagbutang direct \n after the E. Aside lang kung naglagay siya ng \n dito sa after kay welcome, iba yung mangyayari. Dito po, as you can observe, the same lang naman siya. So in short, kahit nakadalawang printf yan siya, the printf function or statement, the same lang din naman ang ginagawa or the same output lang. Yun nga ang sabi ko, we can have maraming paraan para mag-solve ng machine problem sa C, C++ or sa programming. Kaya it is very very obvious pag nagkapare-pareho po kayo ng construction ng inyong program, dali na kayo ma-identify na nakinopyahanay mo. Okay? Simple. Pag-anap lang nako, ay, nakinopyahanay ni sila. Kasi pare-pareha. So, mahibawaan po na ninyo kung paano na siya ma-hit-an in the future po. Okay, next. So, let's proceed with line number 9. Tapos ito kay line number 8. Line number 9 simply, this cause the program to wait for a character input from the keyboard. Pero sa online compiler, yung gisuggest na ko na program is guys, wala na siya nagagamit o gets. Ang ginagamit niya is return 0. Gets po, ito po, familiar ito before, ginagamit ito na sa mga like for example, gets Nemo. So, ito siya. So, most of the time ginagawa namin itong joke when I was in we are katong estudyante pa dyan sa programming. So, ito siya. Aside from that, marami pa po. So, ganun. Again, ang gamit ng gets, guys, mag-wait siya character. Kasi, pag devc po yung gamit ninyo, may mga compiler po na pag walang gets, return 0 yung gamit, hindi nyo makita yung program ng matagal. So, blink of an eye, mag-exit na o ma-terminate na imong program. So, that's the use of gets. So, ito nga siya yung explanation. Without gets function, the text will not be displayed long enough for users to see because as programs encounter the right brace of the main function, they automatically terminate. Yun yung sabi ko. Importante yan siya, especially yung mga nagamit ng devc na compiler or ang IDE. So, kailangan maglagay talaga kayo ng gets. Kasi
Kaya
without
gulay
gets,
na.
mag-terminate na siya. Di na siya mag-display or di na siya mag-display mong output ng dugay. Now, line number 9, to prevent that, gets is used so that we can clearly see the output of the program. Okay? For the kwa naman, sa online compiler na program is, pwede yun walang get. Okay? Walang get. Kasi mayroon yun siyang problem with the header file of get.io. Now, for the beginners, ito po yung sinasabi ko as always kahit nasa ibang school. Good programming practices. So, ito po yung dapat ninyo siyang i-practice, especially kung bago pa po kayo sa programming. First, the last character printed by printf function should be in new line. Kaya nga, doon sa ating example, at the end of the double quote, nilagyan natin ng backslash n. Okay? Good programming practice na siya, guys, especially for the beginner. Second, indent the entire body of each function one level of indentation. Ayun. Sige, sir, may indentation tayo dito nilagay. Ito siya. So, may indentation siya. Okay? Or dito. So, nilagyan siya natin ng indentation. That is, or kanang white space. That is, again, a good programming practice, especially for the beginner. Within the braces that define the body of the function,
Be.
again, this will help the program easier to read. Yun nga, yung white space, yung gamit ng white space kanina na tinanong, yung gamit doon is para dali lang siya mabasa sa mga programmer, sa mainyuha. Now, third from the good programming practice, guys, is every function should be preceded by a comment describing the purpose of the function. So, kung magbuhat mong functions, like for example, sa main function, you're going to have a comment that will describe kung what will be the purpose or function of that functionality of that function. Now, ito po.
By the way,
dapat
thank you for
po,
watching. Dapat ay part 2.